So you've been trading for a while and you've been doing okay, but nothing life-changing though. You've been winning a few, losing a few, battling to break even. You know the deal. But watch this video because I'm going to show you one of the best ways to grow your small account to something larger. I value your time, so we're going to get right to the money, and you already know. I'm going to lace you all the way up. Let's get it.
Pips pay my bills. Pips pay my bills.
So before we can get to any strategy, listen to me. We got to talk about realistic expectations. You feel me? I don't want you around here following and believing what you're seeing on TikTok and Instagram. For all these years, I think at this point we know what forex is and what it isn't. It's not gambling, taking big lots, hoping that you hit big. People say, well, it's only a $500 account. I'm gonna use that on McDonald's anyway, but that ain't the right mindset to invest and try to trade and make strategic trades and win after and compound your trading account. That is not the best mindset. And if you go in with that mindset of let me just risk it and hoping that I hit that one trade that's gonna blow it for me with instant profit, everything goes well. If you go in with that mindset and it don't work out, you start building a lot of scar tissue. And this is the very, very important part to understand before we can get to anything. If you can't even resonate with this part, you might as well stop the video, because that's not what we preaching. That's not what we teaching over here. So you got to have realistic expectations. $500 trading account. Let's get to it. Some people starting with 1,000, 2,000, right? No matter what it is. Let's say you start with 500. I mean, you should be taking 10-cent lot size, pretty much. You taking 10-cent lot sizes, maybe 50-cent lot size. That's probably too much, to be honest with you. But 10-cent lot size, I would say if you're more intermediate and you know how to compound some wins or whatever, then you could go 50-cent lot size at the max. Okay, 50-cent lot size at the max. $1,000, you can go $1 lot size. $5,000, $5 lot size. Now, the caveat is this though. That sounds all good and simple. What changes is when you gotta focus on your stop loss. How many pips is your stop loss? So on this particular example on GBP USD, if you want to get into this trade, okay, you have to factor in what is the stop loss. How many pips is it? Okay, so you go from the entry to the bottom here of the stop loss, and that's 35 pips. Okay, so now take that rule in. If you have $1,000 and you take $1 lot size and you lose, that's $35 loss. Maybe a little bit more because of the spread and the fee, but pretty much $35. So really another way to look at it is how many times can you lose 35 pips before you blow your account? And that's about 14 times. So you can only lose 14 times. All right. So that kind of gets you thinking. The thing is you want to look at how many pips it is, times that by the lot size, and then ask yourself, do you want to risk losing that much money? That's pretty much the bottom line to it. So the third part to this is, do you want to trade with the trend, or do you want to scalp and just get in where you fit in? All right. I say, comment below. What do you say? Comment below. Let me know what you think. But I say with a smaller account, trade with the trend. Trade with the trend. Now, I've made videos how to scalp against the trend because I know you're going to do it. All right. I made videos. I may post it up here in the corner, but I made videos on that. Okay. And you can do it, but that's just more advanced. Like, you have to know the timing. You have to know the pair. You have to know the time of the day that you're doing it, when the right time is. There's a lot of things, a lot of factors. So I say trade with the trend if you're, starting this. Intermediate, even beginner to intermediate, trade with the trend. Even advanced, trade with the trend. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is you're going to go with the momentum of the market. I don't think that you should get greedy. So I think that you should be having a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But here's the thing. That really don't matter. That really don't matter, because really what I'm going to tell you and show you, you're going to move the stop loss into profit and trail the trade anyway. Okay, you need to watch my live trades. All right, I post them every single week. I have a playlist called Live Trades. That's showing you how I maneuver. So I say have a 1-to-1 because I don't want you to get greedy. It ain't at my 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So I'm not getting out. I'm not taking my money, and you just focusing on it going all the way to TP. I want you to have a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I also want you to understand when they get to a certain level, move up that stop loss, take partials, and trail it. So it really don't matter. All right. I'm just trying to train your mindset. Now look, growing your small account to something larger is awesome. But what is more awesome is subscribing to my channel and sharing this video on social media. Hey, look. Don't be gatekeepers. Don't hold this information in. Blessings come to people that help other people. Let's get it. So here we're on the chart. And the number one thing I want you to do is start looking for the trends. Okay, start looking. Now you may get in a little later on the trend. You may be in before the trend develop, but you gotta identify trend and where you're at in the trend. Okay, this is very important. Now the ways you're gonna do that is by going to the daily. Okay, is the daily dropping? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Go with the trend. All right, but we can go to the 1-hour chart. Okay, because I know y'all probably don't want to go to the daily. You should watch my videos, watch my live trading, because I'll be breaking that down. But look, let's go to the hour chart. Let's get to the money. All right, now I'm gonna show you some stuff that already happened already, and then we gonna kind of back test it and kind of see. Because when I replay the market, you're really gonna start thinking and seeing and having aha moments. Okay, so this is the trend. Okay, you really don't know that's the trend. The downtrend has changed until this thing has broken lower lows. Okay, simple stuff, and that's the way we have to keep it. There's nothing new under the sun. I don't care what YouTube video that pop out. This is the new best thing. Trust me. This stuff is the same old stuff that's been happening for years. They're going to try to come up with a new indicator, whatever that. But I'm telling you, learn it this way. So it made a low. It made a low. It blew past a lot of structured levels. Okay. Now, you still can't get in. You still can't get in. All right. So once it makes this big low down here, you like, man. You like, okay, is this just a pullback to go higher? Is it gonna pull back and then continue to drop after this big bearish move? So you don't know. So you have to wait. What you have to identify is this: where's structure at? Where's the nearest structured level at? I'm telling you, this the key, y'all. Where's the nearest structure level at? Okay, it's right here. That's the nearest structure level. So let me take it back. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me make it white. This is the nearest structure level. You see that little phase of consolidation? That's the nearest structure level. So that's where you're going to anticipate the pullback coming. Now, when it gets up there, you got to just be a little more patient because it can blow right through it. You want to see it hold. It's going to take a lot of patience, but the money is going to come quicker. Like you won't be fighting against the trend, trying to make a couple pips. You're going to be with the trend, so it's worth waiting for it. Trust me, it's worth waiting for. So now it breaks below it, and it comes back to it. All right. So now, how do you know when to get in? So now you want to start looking at. You want to look at the 50 moving average. So let's put that one on the chart. So do you see how the moving average is red? That and price is below it. Okay, that's the way the moving average is set up. I set it up that way. All right. The setting is SMA number 1. That's the only one you need. I got it green and red, and the input is 50 close. They got all these other ones. Take them off. You see how I don't have them checked. Okay. And the indicator is by Stocks Inbox, and it's a free indicator on TradingView. All right, you really don't need that. It could just be all white. It don't have to change colors. But price is underneath it. It's the 50 moving average. So that means price is underneath the 50 in a seller's market, and it broke the structure. It's a seller's market. It broke that structure, that white box area. It broke below it. It's coming back to it. and it's coming back to it, and it's still underneath the 50 moving average. The reason why I say that is because some of them are gonna be like, it's so close to the 50 where it's kind of in between it. You don't want to trade that. You want it to be well below it. Okay, not too far away, but you want, like, this is the perfect area. Like, this is the perfect space to be away from the 50. And we broke structure, and now we coming back. So how do you get in? You can go to the 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart. You want to bounce between those two time frames, but you want to find a place to put a trend line. All right. Once price break that trend line, you can go and get up in there. So on the 15-minute chart, this is actually a tricky one. I'm gonna put the trend line right here, right on these wicks. Now this one is a little funky because that's actually a gap in the market. So I'm not gonna worry about that gap right there. And then you got a wick right here. What led me to put my trend line right there is because this red candle was the dead giveaway. That red candle and this green candle coming up right there. And that's where they both came in together at, right there. So that's why I put the trend line there. That was a tricky one. Not all of them gonna be tricky like that, but that's the way you put it. And then boom, here's entry right here. So when it comes to entry, you're either going to take it as it's pushing away from it, because everything is set. So just go on and get up in there. You already waited for the retest. There's no need to wait for the retest on top of the retest, then retest the zone. That's too many retests. It already retested the structure level, the white box area. We're underneath the 50. Boom. Once it's pushing out of that trend line, go on and take it. All right. So that's how you do it. As long as you got the right lot size, the right risk management, you ain't scared of nothing. You ain't jumping in and out. You ain't worried. Or you can just wait for it to close. Wait for the candle to close. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. You got to figure. That's the part where you got to do your own work at. I can't tell you that because every day is different. All right. You just have to back test the way that you like doing it. Now listen, I got one more for you. If you really want to take things to the next level, then turn on the volume indicator. It's right here on my screen. You can see it. It's called volume. It's just part of what TradingView offers. It's the volume indicator. Nothing special. Don't change nothing. I'll show you my settings right quick. All right. Input is 20. And the style is just what it is. It's nothing special. But what you're looking for is when price is coming back to that zone, back to that structure level, is price starting to ramp up? All right. Are these bars starting to ramp up? Okay. That's showing you that volume is there at that level. Okay. And then look at this. As it's starting to come out, of that zone, you can see they starting to raise up higher. That's the key. In that order. Okay, rewind this video, do it in that order. That's the key. All right, so now let's get to the part where we back test this so you can really see. And I actually gave you a harder one, okay, because not everything is going to be easy. So look at this. This is an uptrend. But now you see it breaking below the 50 moving average. So now what? You feel me? Now what do you do? Now you conflicted. Price is going to now break below the 50 and keep dropping. It's going to consolidate around it, or it's going to break back above it and go higher. So that's what it's going to do. So only three things. Now, the real important thing is, what is the trend doing before it? Okay, before it got to this area, what was going on in the market? GBP, USD was going up. All right, so that's what we're going to bank on. All right. So now you have to find structured levels. Okay. Forget about the price just broke this 50. The first important thing is to find the structured levels. And that structured level is going to be here. It's not something that I'm making up. The structured level is these wicks right here. Do you see how price stops up here and turns around? But at the same time, do you see how price wicked out here and went up? That's the level. So now you in a pickle here, because price is going to either drop down there and stay at that level, or price is going to break through that level. You need patience. You need to wait and see what's going to happen. All right. So now here's the thing. You always got to think 2 steps ahead. So if it comes down to this level, this structured level right here, you may not want to get in until price break above that 50. All right. Because if it comes to that structure level, but it's still underneath the 50, that'd be consolidation. You see what I'm saying? Let me draw it for you. Price comes down to this structure level and it's not breaking through it, but it's not breaking the 50 back up to the upside, then that means it's consolidating in between there. So it's worth waiting for. Again, it's worth waiting for to break the 50 to get an entry. All right. This is how you're going to safely grow that account, because you ain't got time to be having losses in the beginning. You got to rack up these wins. All right. Do you see how it's going back and forth underneath that 50 on top of that zone? Just wait for it to break it. That's what I'm talking about. That's entry. All right. That is entry. So you're going to go long. You're going to put the stop loss here, and you're going to go see if it's going to be a 1-to-1. All right. And you got room to be a 1-to-1. And you got room. What you got room for is to trail it along the way. That's the important part. You got room to trail this thing as it continue to go up into this structure level. I forgot what it did, but that went higher than I thought it was. But do you see what I'm saying? When you trade with the trend and find these structure levels, that's going to be, I don't want to use the word bet, but that's your best bet. If you get what I'm saying, that's your best chance at growing your smaller trading account. Is to trade with the trend like this. I forgot to mention the volume indicator, but as it was breaking the 50, the volume was starting to come up. And then it kind of flatlined, and then it came up for you. Now, this part right here is only when it started moving. The key was that it was coming back to structure and that the volume was coming up. It was coming up. It was really low and it was coming up. That's what you want to look for. All right. Because look at it. As it was coming down to the structure level and then these other little candles start printing, the volume was going down. The volume was going down all through here. Let me put my thing up. See, all of this, as it was going up, the volume was going down. That's why I said wait for the 50. It's worth waiting for. Trust me, it's worth waiting for. Because if not, then you're going to get in too early. You're going to get into this crazy amounts of drawdown. You're never going to avoid the drawdown completely, but you're going to be in this crazy amounts of drawdown, and you're going to be wished that you waited. You're going to be wishing that you waited for sure. So comment below. Have you doubled or tripled your account? I have. It's a good feeling. It took me a long time when I first started. It took me years to do it, but finally I did. And if I was to start over again, how would I, with the knowledge that I got now, what would I do differently? If I had to, maybe that's a different video. Comment below. Let me know if you want to see that type of video. How would I structure my learning if I had the knowledge that I have now? How would I attack trading as a beginner? That type of video may be helpful to y'all. Let me know if y'all want to see that. All right. I only want to make content that y'all want. All right. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe. And let's make this money, baby. Peace.